Good morning. It is 7:20 a.m. on Friday, January 19th, 2018. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So I feel like there's been a couple of reasons recently that I've recorded a little bit later than my previous normal. But even though I didn't have any sort of specific activity for it or reason for it, um, I'm deciding to try shifting my morning routine just a little bit because what it has been historically is that it takes me a long time. I move slow in the morning. It takes me a long time to kind of wake up and start getting ready and everything. Um, so what that generally means for me is that I have to set my alarm earlier to give me time to move slow. But wait, what if I tried just getting more sleep by setting my alarm later and then just commit myself mentally to trying to move faster and get things ready faster. It all works well in theory. It's not going great so far in that regard. Because my brain is still in that habit of, no matter how much sleep I've got, it just says, oh yeah, no, leisurely. Yeah, we're good. But yeah, so on the move. On the move. Uh, Getting ready. I got a new washer dryer yesterday. Um, Basically, just because the previous one started leaking and the apartment building felt like they needed to replace it. So, I mean, it's not like new fancy or anything. It's just like a new version of the same one that I had already. But it's new. And actually, one of the things that I hadn't kind of fully appreciated was that prior to it starting to actually leak, my washing machine had been getting really loud. Like, especially in the spin cycle, it vibrated a lot and it was very loud and distracting when it would run. And, in hindsight, it getting louder and louder when it ran was probably a warning sign that something was going to go wrong. But, eventually it did, and here we are. But having received the new one now, being finally able to do laundry, I was, you know, on my normal laundry routine, but then forced to wait like an extra week, unable to use it. But in any case, the new one is much quieter, and that's nice. I like it. What else? Uh, yeah. See, this is why I struggle with this idea of getting up and doing things more quickly in the morning. Is that I, it's not like I'm ever at my most cogent immediately upon getting up, but feel like sometimes I'm able to talk. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Stop telling me I'm not. Who's telling me I'm not? Wait. Yeah. Okay. I'm a little foggy. Actually, I woke up a little snotty and congested this morning. I hope I'm not getting sick. It might have just been, uh, you know what it might be actually? Is it just them moving the appliances around in the laundry room might have stirred up like dust and dust mites and stuff in the air. So that might be what's kind of got me like this. But I'm a little bit anxious about it because I get the flu shot every year because I hate the flu. I really, no, I mean, nobody likes it. Doesn't feel like it's one of those rare things where it's probably universally true that nobody likes being sick. You might like things around being sick, like, if you get a day off work or being pampered, like you like those pieces of it, but I think if you could have those things without the actual being sick part, everybody would choose it every time. So, in any case, the flu sucks. But I'm anxious because this year they're saying not only is the strain that's most prominently going around extra bad this year, extra nasty, but the flu shot missed that particular version. It doesn't mean that the flu shot is useless, it just means that hey, in case you're not aware of how the flu shots work, the flu is actually, what we think of as the flu is not just one virus, just similar to cold. There's actually untold numbers of different strains and versions of the flu that are ever so slightly different from one another, have slightly different symptoms, um, and bypass immunity. And so basically, once you've had one flu, you are then immune to that flu, which is why you don't tend to catch it again. Like if you get it and give it to your partner or friend or something, you don't end up getting it back from them. But there's just so many different versions that you can certainly get a different version. But whenever they're making up the flu vaccine, they have to essentially do some guesswork. And they usually do it based on in Australia and the Far East is where the flu cycles tend to start there and spread westward. That just tends to be the pattern of spread. And so what they usually do is when they're getting ready to make each year's vaccine, they look at the strains that are most prominent there, and they make a little vaccine which is a combination of a couple of different strains, and they kind of cross their fingers and say, yep, we think that these are going to be the ones that are the most trouble. And a lot of the time, they're pretty good at guessing at those things, and the vaccines they make up are effective. But apparently this year, their guesses weren't as good as typical, and so the strains that are causing the most trouble, not as covered by the vaccine. So I'm anxious. I don't want to get the flu. All right. Anyway, I do, because I am, shifting my schedule later, have to actually get moving. And so I will talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.